Yeah, truth can't be told, it gotta be realized. The truth can't be told, it gotta be realized. Freedom ain't free, it ain't legalized. Can't be told, it gotta be realized. Freedom ain't free, it ain't realized. Freedom ain't free, it ain't realized. Freedom ain't legalized. Realize. Freedom ain't free, it ain't legalized. Realize. Freedom ain't free, it ain't legalized. Realize. Yeah, slavery was a long time ago. How? Same motherfuckers still here right now. Colonized on our land, they ahead of us. Changed our name so much they scared of us. Children of the sun, y'all don't compare to us. Pale-faced people, this ain't y'all area. Talking about America, pale-faced people, this ain't y'all area. Even up the playing field, bitch, I'm darn. How you a bitch?
Battery low.
You don't need sperm, you got white privilege, so you don't need sperm. Looking at my homeland, man, I can't believe it. Colonizers came here, they ain't never leave here. Indians ain't die off cause we here. You ain't got a lot of this, say you ain't be here. You're American, but not indigenous. 400 years still ain't get rid of us. All Europeans, nationalized citizens. Made all the Indians, niggas on the census. 1492, we was on the fences. Civil rights movement, we was so defensive. Black Wall Street, whites got so offended. Common law rights, gave us amendments. Thank God don't speak truth, that's alright. First place, 1619 was all white. 1200 wasn't no continent, all white. Europe named after a black woman, alright. Grafted to come from us, do your research. Go within, quit listening to the teacher. And the Nuki God voice coming out the speaker. Cut off trees that it made us weaker. Really they foreign the shit gets deeper. Whites don't know where whites come from either. I'm aboriginal, we come from the ether. Ruling over us in our land, that's evil. Being colonized right now, black people. Prisoner of the war, that's why it ain't equal. Wake up everybody, don't be no sheep. Freedom ain't free, really freedom is illegal. And we can't get mad at this. Whites act like we can't see their advantages. Privileges real, they working in management. Low down dirty, but they calling us savage. They want you to think they above us. All white people are part-time judges. I ain't no racist, but I ain't no sucker. I ain't no African, but they my brothers. Been lied to, I got built up anger. And built everything, still waiting on the savior. Don't call yourself black, please do me that favor. Black tourmaline will protect you from a hater. Listening to your oppressors is dangerous. Gave us a Bible and stole our nation. Said we couldn't read, but we didn't know the language. Tricked us on paper because we didn't see the danger. American Indian, keep the religion. Skin copper color look just like a penny. Wanted our land and you called us stingy. Ain't no Democrats there together, pay attention. We got ancestors, but the papers is missing. Kings and queens, but you can't remember. Remember who you are, just like Simba. Now they got a vax, we don't want that in us. George Washington is a night president.
Look it up.
United States only 10 square blocks.
Look it up.
White people really the minorities. Look it up. Courtrooms don't got authorities. Look it up. You want me, say stop governing me. Gave me a straw man, it's really not me. Why you don't keep it 100 with me? Why Trayvon killers still walk around free? Made this song for the truth, don't hate it. History was told in reverse, I've stated. Read still oppressed, somebody gotta say it. And take it out of school, that's the reason I made it. History, it's his story. History, it's his story. History, that's his story. History, it's his story. That ain't my story. History is his story. Probably ain't your story. History is his story. It's his story.
Grandest. We're gonna play one more and give a minute for everybody to get in. I'm gonna get ready to read. You guys see I'm not on time. I tried to make it. I rescheduled, and all of that, but y'all know I'm on my own time and nobody else's, so it is what it is. I'll be trying to accommodate you guys by making this available at a certain time, because I know that the notifications are blocked for some people. There's all this other weird stuff going on. So in the sense of that, I want to make sure you guys get a chance to get in here. So I'm going to play one more King Azir Incarnated, and we're going to get into the reading.
Yeah. Been a long time coming. But we here. Choose a side, you go against me, that's like suicide. Sometimes just to find the truth, you gotta lose your mind. Using time to my advantage, I understand that everything's manifested in the way that I planned it. I'm still standing when the smoke clears, blood, sweat, no tears. I came from the bottom where nobody know what hope is. They ain't freeing themselves or achieving their wealth. So if they don't support me, they don't believe in themselves. Like the reflection, you get the message. is introspective. So if you search for hell or heaven, is all connected in your brain. All kind of spirits live on this plane. Some are bad, some are good. Which ones you gon' entertain? Crown legacy, the gang. I put my heart in the set. Racists hate our skin tones. They look at dark as a threat. That's why these hateful motherfuckers keep their palms on our necks. How wolves skin of bronze, bitch, we God in the flesh. Just follow the text. It's time to reveal revelation. We still being hated and we still separated. We built the whole nation, but ain't get no reparations. Well, fuck a handout. If you want it, you better take it. This major spit to enslavers. Killers lock us in cages. We gotta move through these mazes. Nobody coming to save us. Take off your chains. Everything you ever knew was ours. Like Lane said, Hughes, like you, we knew. Yeah, you was power. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Take your shit back. Yeah, take off your chains, everything you ever knew was ours. Like Langston Hughes, like Huey Newton, yeah, you was power. A true king, born to rise from an infant. I do it for the lives that done died in the system. There's war outside for your mind and your spirit. Whatever's televised, telling lies to your vision. I'm indigenous, God body, strong and militant. And my squad is infamous, we come for diligent. Immortal in combat, so it's hard to finish him. He's powerful, you gotta be a god to sit with him. I'm tapped in, my vessel's a voice for the ancestors from back then who wanted the world to demand better. I put my pen to the pad, start spitting what's real, and when I speak, that shit be giving them chills. I gotta tell you about your power, time to soak up your knowledge so you unlock it and rise like the sun. We pushing past the horizon. They watching from the side, but they don't want to collide, cause who can stop it? Nobody, nigga. Nobody, straight heavyweights. These bronze bombers gon' detonate when we elevate from hell's kitchen to heaven's gate. We fighting hard times, dog, so let me set it straight. You ain't got a strong mind, the nigga will resonate. I don't feel cowards. Your willpower is your real power. We've been building they dream so long, it's time to build ours. Cause shit won't change if we all stay the same. So if it all falls down, we should all take the blame, nigga. I seen the pain, I done witnessed the flaws. So if you don't pay attention, you won't get what you are. My spiritual energy was sent from the stars. Now, bitch, I'm live
from the what? From the stars. It's the deep little song.
My spiritual energy was sent from the stars. Now, bitch, I'm live from the temple of God incarnated.
I know that's right.
King. Crap.
How y'all feeling about that? Incarnated. Talking about being from the stars and like you being everything that is all pure energy that's connected to everything, right? That's crazy. He's speaking the truth. Okay. Grandest to whoever is up. And I really just hope y'all are not out preparing for this fake, disrespectful holiday. Let me get something together for y'all real quick.
To NBC New York. Originally established during the Civil War, Memorial Day honors those who have died in military service for the U.S. For many people, Memorial Day marks the unofficial start of summer and a 3-day weekend of barbecues, beach trips, and other outdoor activities.
That's something. Established during the Civil War, right? Real quick. Honoring those who died in military service for the U.S. I'm not going to get into this holiday thing. I don't even like wasting my time and energy on certain things, but I'm going to just mention this real quick for those who aren't very much aware of the meaning of memorial. The memorial of justification for the United States. The memorial for the United States actually forming a military and using our own people to join into that military and work against themselves, right? People have been barbecuing and looking forward to fireworks and this and that. Do you know the significance of exploding of those fireworks is them signifying or reminding you guys that they blew up the buildings, the people, taking over certain areas when they came in through these wars. I know you guys have seen certain pictures or videos of these civil wars, and they're always doing reenactments of the Civil War. Do you guys understand the significance of the Civil War? And it actually putting a barrier on the foundation of the true Americans of, this particular land. So when we're thinking about that, I want you to focus in rather quickly on how it says those who died in military service for the U.S. It does not say those who died in service for America. It was not for significance or justification for the Americans. It was for the United States against the Americans. These are two separate entities. Make sure you understand this. The United States is not America. America is a land. America is a people. The United States is a corporation that is single-handedly trying to take over everything that had been a part of America. Right? Hold on one second.
Here is some information about United States. The U.S. is a country of 50 states covering a vast swath of North America, with Alaska in the northwest and Hawaii extending the nation's presence into the Pacific Ocean.
The United States.
According to Library of Congress, before 1492, modern-day Mexico, most of Central America, and the southwestern United States comprised an area now known as Meso or Middle America.
This is before 1492. Modern-day Mexico and most of Central America. The history. the history that a lot of us don't even understand that, we celebrate a lot of things that are not fundamental for us or, beneficial for us. They have nothing to do with us. I definitely would not be celebrating, just so you know, if you're out barbecuing and, all of that, putting energy in the air, getting ready for these explosive barbecues and the fires and the timber of the coals and then you're looking forward to these fireworks, the actual tearing down and breaking down of a nation to build a corporated institution over it. So that's just my opinion. I don't know how you guys feel about holidays. We do the same thing every day. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Me and my kids, my family, we always do things whenever we want to. We'll just call each other like, hey, what you doing? You want to cook out? You want to do this? That's just how we do. So I don't know about other people. But I don't feed into the energy of these people and what they say. Even Mother's Day. My kids always get me stuff or whatever, but they know I don't even care about that stuff. They buy me stuff all the time. They get me gifts. Have to be a Mother's Day. So it's nothing significant for that day, really, for me. I don't get off on those type of things, but that's neither here nor there. Let's get back into this book. I'm going to start reading here. I don't have any particular page I wanted to start at because, as I said, I'm not going to read the entire book like I never do. This one is actually pretty short. It's only a little over 200 pages. But I still don't plan to read all of it. I just want you guys to see certain points. The most significant part we went over the other day, revealing the Lanaka tribe, the actual true Nagas, the ones that have been held down with the snakes in the underworld that they built, that actually went from city to city, country to country. These underground cities are still there because it says specifically that the cities have been built and, you can travel from town to town. I've told you guys about that months ago. Months ago, we had a build on some of the areas with the excavations of the land. I think that was the name of that video. And we kind of talked a little bit about that, making you guys understand that when they came through and plowed down a lot of times and exploded things on the surface, there were underground caverns in cities and areas. If you haven't seen the video, you can go check it out. It actually showed the underground cities. They were able to do transportation through there. They actually had stores down there so people could go down there and like shop and, whatever. Oh, my sinuses, guys. We got like high pollen in Texas, so you guys excuse my voice as well. But when they go to the areas and they explode the surface, right? The underground towns, the underground tunnels or areas where people have gone into have been destroyed. The significance of me wanting to really do this is to show you guys that information as far as the underground cities because of that sinkhole that we talked about. Um, that 650-foot sinkhole that was actually found over in that same area. We're talking about the same area, China, India, all the same places. You know, um, the rulership. We talked about the rulership. It shows you that the rulership was all over. What the kings had the power and the governance to rule the all four corners of the earth is what is stated. This is the power that these kings held, and that was because everything was conjoined. All of the areas. Maybe I'll pull up a picture on that so you guys can see that as well. I did have some other pics to show you today, but I don't know if I'll get into those. But let's see here. So yeah, when it comes to that, those areas, those areas that have those particular those areas that had people that were, either doing their business, running their business down there. They were working down there because they were part of like the Underground Railroad that were transporting goods from country to country. These particular people were down there. So when they exploded and blew up the buildings and things that were on the surface and plowed over them and started to rebuild, they were trapped significantly. Peace, sis. Peace, peace. Fullness to you. So when these people have been trapped underground, of course they survive for a certain amount of time. Peace to you, brother. Grandest to you, Enoch. They have been trapped underground and they survive for a certain amount of time. But some people may not have survived due to the way that it would have caved in, significantly in certain areas. But as you would imagine, depending on the depth or how it was built, and having the significance of having things proper in that perspective, they were able to survive down there and still do. So I myself, this is just my personal opinion, I can't prove it. I believe that there are still people that live underground in these particular caverns because there is life that can be, uh, um, fine, without having certain things to elevate the sunlight into the area, so on and so forth. There's enough sunlight and moisture, energy in those areas. As you guys saw that utopia, when you look down and it looked more luscious and beautiful than anything you could see in the what we're living in now, with all the contaminations and the nanoparticles and the disruption of the wind and all of these different things. So when it comes to that, we are particularly in the area of knowing now or having the realization, if we use our instincts and our common sense, that if a utopia of an area could manage to have 150-foot plus trees in it, as far as the height, then they should be able to understand that people could also survive down there because we are plant life. So if the plant life was as gorgeous as it was in that utopia, as I said, there's no way there couldn't be uh, different life forms down there as well. Okay, so let's just get into this. I'm going to start right here. It says the Brahmins of Benares know Laka Namantan, by which they told that among the aquatic animals, the fish, the tortoise, the crab, and among the being living on the land, on the beings living on the land, because they were living off the land, deer, swine, peacock, partridge and men were of golden color, Not okay. Keep that in mind as well. We talked about it. They already said that before. They were dark skinned in the prior video, giving you the description, letting you know they were aboriginals, and it stated that they were aboriginals. Okay, the people of Benares used to go to Tuxila. And that's another thing. These people argue a lot about the Aboriginal. Oh, this Aboriginal community, Aboriginal. First off, I'm not a part of a community. I'm a community of myself with me and my family. I deal with certain aspects because I came into a lot of this knowledge and researching it particularly, even though it tied into a lot of stuff I had already known. They just clarified information, making more clarification is always good, never a bad thing. So getting into the information, people like to argue Aboriginal does apply to a certain area where there is the natural growth of a particular people. So I don't know why there's an argument about why people want to say Aboriginal. People want to say they Indian. I mean, who cares? It's just a name. People want to say they Moors. The only thing I don't agree with is the Moors that are, oh, we were here, we had this and we owned this and we that and y'all didn't have nothing. That is like absurd because a lot of them, as we did a brief read before in the history, have come from Ethiopia, and they are the ones that traded on their own country. They were the ones that traded on the other Ethiopians by going along with these Caucasians and fighting a war against them. So I don't know how they can say, all of that. So it's really disturbing when we think about all the arguments we have over the names or the lands or, so on and so forth, because I could care less, to be honest. It's about what's going on, what you can do now. I believe that we should know history just to be able to reveal truth and have accusations of certain things clarified. But when it comes to the true fact of the matter, yeah, we need to know truth, but also focus on what's going on now. Freeing your mind. You can only free your mind when you know who you are. You can only free your mind and stand in the place or the proper perspective when you have a foundation of self-worth. Knowing who you are, where you come from, the people that you represent, all of these things are very important. Okay. The people of Barnes used to go to Tuxila, 2,000 leagues. Listen, 2,000 leagues. The people of Benares used to go to Taxila, 2,000 leagues. Mind you, we were talking about the time before the Hinduism came into the so-called India land that they claimed when they were all a part of the Nagaloka tribes, the actual black Nagas, right? It said they were the black Nagas. I'm just not making this up. Okay, Dhammapada commentary tells us that a king of Benares learned a mantra from a young Brahmin by paying him 1,000 kahapanas as a teacher's fee. The king saved his life from the hands of the barber. Listen, these people were the ones that were coming against all of the Nagas all over the land. Any dark or brown colored, they were having problems with these particular people. The barber who was instigated by the Sanapatia, I know I'm saying it right, Sanapati, I'm sorry, by the Sanapati, to kill him by that mantra. He could be killed by a particular mantra. You know what a mantra is? That's just words, certain words and formations, a spell, a connotation of spells. Here we go with the spell binding, y'all. I'm telling y'all, these people have been doing this forever. This is how they started minimizing our people. Grandest. This is how they started minimizing our people. So here we go. With the mantra, the Brahmin of Taxila sent his son Sasima to learn the Vedic mantra, from a teacher who was his father's friend. The teacher taught him very well. The young man of Benares went to Taxila to learn archery. Listen to this, archery. This is one of the particular things the Nagas had in common. All of the Indian tribes all were proficient with archery. They say archery, right? So I've showed you guys. I think I showed you guys my sword, my swords and my bow and arrows. Yeah, these are weapons that you guys can use even now to this day. You'd be amazed with using alchemy if you need to have something for defense. We're good here in Texas. We have gun laws, but if not, you can definitely have bow and arrow. You can have archery equipment. Definitely, to protect yourself. It would be nice to learn that so you guys can actually find it. You'd be surprised that you can just look it up, and more than likely, there's a couple of places in your area. So you'll be surprised. Taking archery lessons, buy your equipment, and keep it as a weapon to protect yourself in your home if you need to. Okay. I think I have I showed you guys? I did show them the bow and arrow before. Yeah. I may do that before we get off, guys. Okay. Check my chat. Grandma, great light says greatness to you, babe. All right. So archery from a distinguished teacher, and he was well versed in the art. He was very well versed in the art. They used it for everything, of course. And the teacher, being satisfied, gave his daughter in marriage to him. He showed the teacher he was so bad. He was like, "Man, take my daughter. I know you're gonna protect her." I hear that. From the Jatakas, we learned that the Benares was ruled with justice and equity. I don't know why they equity. That's throwing me off. Sorry, guys. The minister of the king of Benares. Y'all know when my sinuses get to bothering me, guys, I am like kind of off. Anybody that is familiar in my chat, my head's a little stuffy, my ears are kind of clogged. Like I have tea, but I'm not drinking the hot tea, and I did not make what I need to help clear up my sinuses. Seems like it's not so bad. It's just a little head stuffiness. So I'm gonna just finish this real quick. So y'all gotta excuse me because words, my voice and the echo in my ear is kind of throwing me off. But we're gonna get through this because I want you guys to hear this. So I'm gonna, take my time, speak slowly and clearly. Okay, it says the ministers of the king of Benares were just. No false suit was brought into the court. The true cases were so scanty that sometimes ministers had to sit idly and go away without finding a single suitor. So they didn't even have crime. They didn't even have to bring people to court for injustice or someone trying to cheat someone or steal from them, so on and so forth. The king of Benares was always on the alert to know of his faults. He used to wander about in the city in disguise, but none told him anything against himself. It says him, but himself. Once he went outside the city to know whether there was anyone who might now know anything against him. At this time, the king of Kasala, who ruled with righteousness, started out to find out his faults from persons outside his city. On the way, the two kings met. The road was very narrow. The two kings met where the road was very narrow. There was no room for one carriage to pass another. Each of the drivers spoke of the virtues of his king. The king of Kasala and his driver descended from the carriage, loosened the horse, and moved the carriage out of the way to give place to the king of Benares, showing much respect. Those are people that are distinguished, that just they know how to handle themselves, they know how to be respectful, so on and so forth. I know a lot of times in these days we just don't understand that. It's just so odd to respect another person, so odd, to be understanding, to be open-minded, to be optimistic, to be forgiving. These are just, things that are just too much for people in these day and times, I understand, but we have to be mindful that we need to start doing that. In the Dhammapada commentary, we read that a king of Benares went out in disguise to inquire whether any of his subjects spoke ill of him. And for 1,000 Kahapalas, he learned from a young Brahmin of Benares a mantra which enabled him to read the evil thoughts of people. Now, if you're listening to this, you know that this is information that is derived from our ancestry as well. The Naga'S, they were insightful. They were the Tirthankaras, the ones that had the affordable passageway to pass over and to actually come back, ascending, and then coming back into this life, being able to help others to also ascend. And these are the type of mentalities that they were around, because at this time, all of the people thought with the best of their will. Everyone wanted to be an aspect of light and energy, and living graciously, and making sure they were doing things, so on and so forth. So we have to keep that in mind. All right, let's keep it moving. It says that he after he received the mantra that enabled him to actually read the thoughts of people. Keeping in mind, guys, these practices are like alchemy, manifestations. We've done this. All of this information that we have been running into for the past couple of months, we actually manifested. We did manifestations as far as our fasting. We did the 999 pledge into our fasting. The ones that participated, we all focused our energies throughout the entire day, and we did a fasting, and we had specific things that we were putting into the manifestation of our world at that particular time, and we did it together. So when conjoining our energies, this is the same thing I always talk to you guys about when it comes to these churches, right? You're in the church, and they're giving all this energy thinking that it's coming from this Holy Spirit when there's a hole in that theory, trust me on that. But when it's all actuality, it's coming from within you. It's the energy rising within you. Energy and motion. Once your emotions are risen and you're giving that energy to something, the praising, the worshiping, all of this, you're actually bringing and arising that to actually come upon you. You're the one that did it. Nothing just came out of the sky other than what you guys have promoted into. Anything that you think and you put that energy toward manifesting that energy, charging it up, just running it up, that is a spirit that is outside of you. And then that is something that can tap into your subconscious to actually assume responsibility over your mind, helping with your thoughts to be in a line of thinking that it wants to be in. We just did the video yesterday, guys, the last couple of days. I've been doing more videos than I plan to because I got so much personal stuff going on. But with this, when it comes to it, we have to keep in mind that these things are actually keeping us from growing in certain areas with our mind, being able to distinguish like what's important. I got lost in my thoughts. I was trying to come back. What's more important as far as like the things that we are thinking about, the things that we want to manifest into our cycle of life. When we're bringing these things into a cycle of life, if you aren't taking that energy and trying to build toward those things, how can you have a foundation of growth when it comes to that? There are spellbinding words and different things that you put on your life. You're waking up, good morning. You're offering and wishing a person a good morning. You want them to mourn. A morning is a death. So you're giving death into their life, speaking life, taking the life out of a person by speaking death on them when you first greet them. There are certain things we have to be careful of. And that is a mantra. It's always been promoted. Good morning, good morning, good morning. You hear this all the time. People say this to everybody, to the kids. As soon as they come in the classroom, in the office, as soon as you start your day at work, that's the first thing you hear. And then when you're having a horrible bad day, people are thinking like, wow, why did I have such a bad day? Well, shit, you wished it into your life. You wished it on someone else. You had 1,000 good mornings all day. So what do you think was going to happen to you? These are the type of things we have to understand. Okay. All right. Let's keep it moving. In spite of good government, the country was not free of crime. The Kakapala was a physician at Benares. He gave medicine to a woman who deceived him. Check this out. This was crazy. He gave medicine to a woman who deceived him by telling a lie. He being very angry with her, he gave her a medicine which made her blind. Do you guys see how they were dealing in the alchemy? That's what I wanted to say. I'm glad it came back. They were dealing in the alchemy at this time. This is a practice that we've had for centuries that came down the line from our ancestors, the Mayans. This is where all of this is coming from. All of the distinctiveness, the Mayans with the archery, everything that we're reading right now, all of this came from the Mayans. As we read, if you didn't see the video from the other day, that it went into all that. The first Naga video, part 1 of this, it showed all of that. The Mayan industry, the spreading of them all over. The kings were ruling the entire 4 corners. the Nagas were taken over, and actually went down. When they went down into their tunnels, they actually had the snakes, the snake that actually had this energy to keep them kind of trapped down there, based off of being minimized in their spirit, because they've started going with a lot of things that were going on with these people, listening to their governance. Same thing that happened over here, back in the early 1400s, so on and so forth. So, let's keep it moving. After he blinded her using alchemy, as you hear the mantras, them receiving mantras that they can actually read people's thoughts, and to be honest, all that is giving insight, opening the internal, giving the energy, because he got or retrieved that mantra. He just felt that it would work. So now, since he felt it would work, he believed in it. That energy he gave toward that mantra is actually what made it work. Not so much the mantra shit. He could have changed the words. Well, he don't know, but that's a whole nother story. There are instances of highway robbery and house break-ins in the Satapada Jataka. We find that the Badhasati gathered 500 robbers and became their chief, and lived by highway robbery and house breaking. Now, if you can think about it, that kind of sounds like something we've heard of as the gypsies, right? If you heard of gypsies, they're always saying that, oh, they're robbers. People will be coming down here, they go jumping them, such and such and such. That's the gypsies. All right, before I get into this page, let me just check in with my chat. All right. Vid Aman C, Rakak Gemini Bay, El Allah, Ali. If I'm saying that wrong, I just wanted to try it. I apologize for any disrespect. Brandon says, how you doing this morning? Hope all is well. Everybody coming in. Hope you guys are having the best of energy, the most perfect energy that is sitting around you right now. And you guys had time to get a little meditation in. If you guys listened to the video yesterday, I played something, or was that the day before yesterday? Could have been. I played something on the best way to meditate. Another one is a very simple, taking 5 breaths in. You breathe in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like so. Breathe in. On the count of 5, you're taking in breath, and on the count of 5, you're actually exhaling certain ions that you need to remove from your body that aren't positive for you. So you're inhaling through your nostrils, and you're breathing that toxicity out of your mouth. You do that about 5 times, you'd be amazed at how much oxygen you can bring into your body, and actually relieving certain EMF from your body, and getting a certain beneficial proficiency that way. Okay, so just try it. You can do it while I'm talking. Just listen to, as I'm reading, and take your time. You guys, do it for at least, maybe 3 times. If it starts to feel a little uncomfortable, some people, when not being comfortable, may experience a little bit of lightheadedness, but that is just the oxygen, coming in. So, by doing this throughout the day, you can actually fulfill, replenishing and cleansing of certain red blood cells within your body, by pulling in that oxygen and actually removing certain toxicity. So, try doing that a couple of times a day, guys. Even if you do it 2 or 3 times, do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, breathe it out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, do it again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then do it that 3rd time. Try to work yourself up to doing it 5 times in a row. Maybe doing that 3 times a day. Do it anytime you're thinking about it. Like, you don't even have to be thinking about it. Just do it. You're sitting there doing something. Take the time to, do that for yourself. Okay. I wanted to. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm going to read this. I should have showed you the Bhagashas. There's this Babylonian. Actually, this is 42. Let me see if I can show you guys. I want you guys to see this picture. It all, like I said, it always is a Buddha. Look at this. Bahasadas. These are the Bahasadas. Does this not look the same as the Tirthankara? Does this not look the same as the knotty hair Buddhas? Get a good look. What do you see? Same thing. Going back to the Tathagata. It just is the same thing. So now, when I've been giving you guys the information on the Tathagata, right? And you're probably like, oh, here goes this with this Chinese John. No, you got to understand it. This is literally the ancient tribe of the Mayan Naga'S, the Lakanakas, all of the tribes that came after. If you guys did not watch part one, this will not make sense. You're gonna have to see part one to see that this is the Mayan tribe that came down and how they spread over, how the kingdomship was so broad and strong and powerful that all four corners were ruled. They had certain governance. And these things we've been reading too. In some of the older books, the other old books that we've read, we talked about certain things that were going on in the South. We talked about how when the king and them came over before in England, and it's kind of showing the same information. These are things that start happening in the timeline. All the taking over, the assuming of the land, the changing of the names of the land, so on and so forth. The 1600s and things, they started removing and changing things, back. Okay. All right, let's go back. Start reading. I want you guys to see that. Let me get into some pics if we have time. My bad. In the wrong button. Okay, here we go. All right. So the Brahmana and the Kalpashirtas that we find in Kasala as one of the countries in the Vedic Aridum. And remember, they were talking about all the Aryan races, all that. We talked about this a lot of time. All these people coming out of that area, making all of these different countries out of a land that was already, excuse me, guys, a land that was already proficient in itself. So the rushing in of people, the Germans, the germs, the germs, bacteria, incubated. I'm just giving hints. All of these different things you have to think about. And one of the countries in the Vedic Aryan kingdom, the Kasala is also mentioned in the Pala Buddhist literature. Listen, the Kasala, didn't I just tell you that? This is why I wanted to show you guys that picture. Okay. The Kasala is also mentioned in the Pali Buddhist literature as one of the 16 great countries, one of the 16 great countries. The Mahajana Padas of Janpadipa, or India, which we know is not India. That was also the Asiatic area. And as we read in part one, it let us know that they brought that over and changed the area by taking over the land, obviously. Panini too is one of his sutras. It mentions Kasala in the Athas Salini, PTS page 305. It's another book. The Baghag Hasa's commentary on the Damas Sagani, mentioned in Maine of the Kasalas as one of the great Kastriya tribes in the Buddha's time. The Kastriya tribe in the Buddhist time. These were another one of the Naga tribe that came off of the Panini. Oh gosh, let me make sure I'm saying it right, guys. Hold on a second. I believe it was the Panini tribe. Just to make sure. It was. Yeah, I'm saying it. I'm pronouncing it wrong. It was the Paraha. If you guys remember, we read that information. It was telling us that with the Paraha people, pronounced Parahi, actually, I'm sorry. They are the indigenous people of the Amazon rainforest in Brazil. They are the sole surviving subgroup of the Mura people, and are hunters and gatherers. And they live mainly on the banks of the Maki River in Humeti and Manacor in the state of the Amazonian. So they were all part of the Amazon, right? Also, remember that we spoke, I've given you guys information just to go over real quick. All this information deriving from the Sanskrit with the Chakravarti. Remember, reading the information on the Chakravarti, the universal ruler in history of religions, mythologies. All of this came from that particular realm and area, and they all derive from the Naga. Once again, just to reinforce the information, if you guys do not recall, I'm going to remind you guys of the information on that. Let me read this real quick. I'm not going to change the page, but I'm going to go over it real quick. The Naglok in Hindu Puranas, the underworld, where the snakes of the Nagas reside in Nagaloka. Keep it in mind. Remember, Nagaloka. Let me actually put that in the chat for you guys, just so if you want to look this information up, you can get this particular information and verify it for yourself. Read a little more in depth to it. I always encourage you guys to find out information, look it up, check it out yourself. You might even find something that I've overlooked in my particular studies and bring it back to me. Hey, sis, look, check this out. You were talking about this and look what I found. I love that. I love more insight. That's why it's good to have viewpoint of more than one person. One person having all their mind and their ideas into something does not necessarily make that the best thing to do. Thinking that you're always right, you know it all, you have all the information, so on and so forth. I'm very intelligent. I'm very bright. I'm very well versed. I'm very well studied, but I am not the smartest person that even I know. So, you can always learn, and it's good to offer information. It's good to be receptive to information. I'm not very good with receiving information when people aren't receptive of mine. I can get a little bit in my ego. I have to say that I am somewhat of a perfectionist, certain things. So, it is what it is. So let's read this really quickly. The Naglok, or the Nagaloka, is the world of snakes and is underground beneath the earth. And it is per the Hindu Puranas, which is actually going back to the Mayan tribes of the Nagas. There are 7 worlds. Listen to this. This is factual. This isn't theory. This isn't anything they're just saying, so on and so forth, right? There are 7 worlds. I'm going to put that in the chat for you guys as well. There are 7 worlds below the earth, and the Naglok is the last one. Vishnu Purana states that the Patal, or the underworld, is 70,000. The Yahanas below the earth, 1 Yahana is equal to 8 miles. Now, when you think about that, and it says that the Patal, or the underworld, is 70,000 Yahanas below the earth, think about the petals. You guys remember I did a live with you guys on who or what are the 144s? Did you guys check that out? If you did not check it out, make sure you check it out. Who or what are the 144s? Aligning your chakra system in order to get the perfect energy so that you're able to let that Christ oil energize itself enough, letting that plasma in your blood heat up. When that plasma in your blood heats up, remember, it starts to osculate. When it's osculating so fast like that through your body, through your blood system, it's going to heat everything up and actually burst those crystals, actually ignite the Christos oil that is in the pit of your spine. So this is very important. All right. I'm going to finish reading this real part in just a little bit, and we're going to get right back to it. It says the 7 worlds occupy 10,000 Yohanas each. So Nagaloka is located near 130,000 Yohanas beneath the earth. Now, why is this very, very important? Remember, we did the video on the 650-foot sinkhole that's over in that same area they're talking about right now. All this is over in Asia, guys. Okay. So the sinkhole opened up and it revealed the utopia, the underground world. And here is more proof of that. If you didn't get a chance to watch that, go back and see. I swear I feel like a commercial when I say that, but I need to reference you guys to certain videos because I know sometimes you may miss one, you may not have seen it, you've been too busy, you're doing something else, so on and so forth. But if you're missing certain things, you're not going to get everything that I'm trying to put across. So just keep that in mind. Saga Narara has mentioned that the Naglok is beautiful than heaven. Remember, we read in the book and it was talking about it sent him to the heaven, this, and that. So these are the different things that they would do when they had certain things the government would decide on, or how they wanted to run things. If people weren't cooperating, they were going against the laws, certain things, they would be punished, they would be put or dispersed, so on and so forth. Then we read a little bit about how they came in and they diminished and pushed out all of the Naga tribes, demising them from like millions to like thousands. It was crazy. Um, so the Naglok is beautiful than heaven, or Swarg, the abode of Devas or Demi Gods. Sunlight does not reach the Nagaloka. Puranas mention that the place is lighted up with the light emitting from the Nagamani atop the fangs of the snakes. I put the video in there for you guys to check out, for you to see that those snakes, when they with those snakes, this is the light that they were emitting. They're talking about the light that was emitted from these particular snakes, and these snakes had these were huge snakes. We're not talking about little snakes, obviously. They were down there in this particular area. Okay, the Naglok was built by Mayan. Once again, it was a Mayan culture. All this comes from and is derived from the Mayan culture, changed from the Mayans, with all the Indian tribes of Maya, and converting these things, they have tried to switch things over. So you believe that India that is over there is the real true Indians, and they always enforce it. Don't you? Oh, the Indians. They always enforce it. It's amazing to me. But they're not the true Indians. They actually took over the land and they demised the Naga'S and moved into that particular area. We've discussed this many a time, so I'm not going to get into that story again, but I want you guys to get this particular information, okay? I'm going to make sure these are all highlighted as well. Very important to understand this information, okay? And rather quickly, another portion that we spoke about, just to bring it to your recollection, I showed you guys a lot of the different kings, the different receivers of these crownships, these kingships, the Khan Bahadar. I want you guys to look that up, and you guys will be able to see the information on this particular king. There are so many of them that like we went over, but please go back and watch that video. I want this all to make sense. All of this being part of the Solar Dynasty. Remember the Solar Dynasty, or the Ishvaka Dynasty. It was founded by the legendary king Ishraku. Okay. The dynasty is also known as Sarivamsu, the Solar Dynasty, or the descendants of the sun. Who are the descendants of the sun? Who else are they talking about if it's not you? And this is something that had been taken over your particular history and changed over from the Mayan and the Naga Indians from the underground world. These particular survivors are the actual Solar Dynasty, or the descendants of the sun, the true descendants of the sun. Then came along not from the solar to the lunar dynasty. Why do you think it switched from the solar to the lunar dynasty? Comprises one of the main lineages to the Krishriva Varna. This is how everything switched to the India or Indian that they've tried to portray, that they tried to put in your mind is the Indian. Check this out. This is very important for you guys to get. I want you to I'm sorry. I can't really break everything down because it'll take too much time. You guys know I get kind of distracted. I said that this part 2 is going to be short because I don't want to get into reading too much of this book. I'm actually, you know what? Let me drop this. This is the dropper. This is the dropper, guys. Hold on. Where is it? Let me drop this real quick. I want you guys to check this out. Take time to read this so you can get a real understanding of it for yourself. Take some time to check it out, okay? Get a good understanding of this. These were the Solar Dynasty tribes, okay? So make sure that you're understanding particularly what I'm saying when it comes to this. I'm going to try to break this down a little bit more for you, okay? Now, The Solar Dynasty, right? It was actually founded by the Ishraku. So they came over into the solar to the people, descendants or the children of the sun, per se. You guys have heard this in all the areas, even over here in America, here where we are. We all had the same thing because we're all the original people, but just spread out all over the place. Different tribes, different things going on. Once the kingship was broken up, then there were different countries formulated and formatted, renamed. Certain lands were excavated where they were able to actually make lakes and drain lakes and ocean, big large oceans. Egypt over there, which is a constructed place, that was a lake. That's fully the bottom of a lake. Why would there be such desolate land like that? That was a lake. So many things that make common sense. We have to think in our head and not be fooled, especially when we're thinking about the theatrics of everything that's being pulled over our eyes in a whole entire lifetime, and our ancestors as well. And it's time to put a stop to it. So as I said, the dynasty is known as the Solar Dynasty, or the descendants of the sun. Now check this out. And then along came the Lunar Dynasty. They were with them, and they were comprised one of the main lineages, they said, to the Krishna Varna. I believe that this was the impeding. As I said, this is where they took their time to come in, right? Then we're going to get to something very astute for me. You guys know. Yes, exactly. Make sure you guys getting all of it. All right. And there's something else I need you guys to hear really quickly. This is where it gets very interesting for me. You guys know the first thing I'm going to tell you. It says that the first Tirthankar, they say Tirthankar, the first Tirthankar of Jainism, Revered Deva himself, was King Ishvaka. Further, there were 21 other Tirthankaras of Jainism that were born on this dynasty. All of them were born on this particular dynasty. This dynasty being of the children of the sun. And they said yesterday what they was dark, talking about they was wild, saying all kind of absurd nonsense. Right? So I want you guys to get all of this. So anything that you're not tying together, I'm going to give you all the links, because I'm not going to be on here long, guys. I just came in to, do a little bit of this. So just keeping in mind, I'm going to put a little bit of information in here. You guys can check it out for yourself. So as I said, that will, we talked about the Jainism will, being that will of life, the will that turns everything within you. Same thing I was saying about the lining up of the 144,000. That is part of that will. And I want you guys to check out the information on this so you can see it for yourself. Study this up. I'm not gonna take a lot of time going into a lot of these particular parts, because let me cut that out, make this too. So there it goes, smooth. Okay. Yeah, because you guys have to really do a lot of this research yourself. I can put it out there to you. I can show you what I have. But a lot of this stuff you definitely need to check out for yourself, because if you don't, you're really not going to be able to get to understand it. Because I'm giving my perspective on things. I'm tying things together. I want you guys to see it. And yeah, that's kind of what it is. So keeping in mind, one other thing I wanted to mention. Yeah, I think that's about it for now on that. I'm going to read a little bit more of the book, and okay. And then we're going to be done. You guys make sure you get the link out of the chat. Take your time. Today's a nice, relaxing day. I hope you guys are out there celebrating Memorial Day, the death of so many of our ancestors. Like literally the blowing up of towns and cities, like literally like blowing up the towns and, burying some the underground town people under there alive and, celebrating with fireworks and things, the explosives they used on us. And yeah, I just hope you guys are out there doing that and getting ready for that. That's all I'm going to say. In Buddhist time, Kosala was a powerful kingdom in northern India, but it had already been eclipsed by the growing power of the Naga'S. Kosala lay to the east of the Kuras and the Panchalas, and to the west of the Vidahas, from whom it was separated by the river of Sandanira, probably the great Gandak. According to Doctors McDonald and Keith, Kosala lay to the northeast of the Ganges and correspondingly roughly to the modern Odu. According to Mr. Rapson, Kosala formed a kingdom lying to the east of Panskala and to the west of Vadia. It is the modern province of Oda, if I'm saying it right, in the United Provinces. The United Provinces. They were all united. In the Cambridge History in India, we read that the northern frontier of Kosala must have been in the hills in what is now Nepal. Its southern boundary was the Ganges, and its eastern boundary was the eastern limit of the Sikayan territory. According to proof, Rice Davis and Casalas was ruling clan in the kingdom, whose capital was Savatthi and what was now Nepal. This was before the rulership of the Mayans and the Nagas that ruled the entire four corners, and they came and invaded that particular area and demised everything at that time. All right. I wanted to read something else. I wanted to read the part about the sun. I just can't remember what page, guys. This is like annoying for me, but you guys will be able to read it. It's in the first 60 pages, guys. I want you guys to go check it out. It actually shows you or it tells you a lot about the sun, that there were more than one sun, talking about a lot of the stuff that we talk about a lot of time when it comes to the solar. As you see, there were the people of the sun. There were also the people of the I'm right at an hour. Perfect. Peace, peace, brother. How you doing? Haven't seen you in a while. Hope all is well. Yeah, so I think that with this, you can go in there and check that out. It goes into, the children of the sun, them being the children of the sun, and it said and the lunar, so the sun and the moon. So the moon people or the moon children were different from the sun children. I may get into that when I do this time and frequency build. If I can recall anybody in the chat, you guys had asked me about that at the time. I can get into it because I have to have certain information and to get that pulled up. I did want to show you guys my bow and arrow again. Dang, do I feel like getting it out? I have to go do a lot here. Hold on a second. Let me grab it. Yep, they right here. All right, let me see. Put the camera on. All right, here we go. Let me see. Solo. Okay, this is my bow and arrow. I actually have actual real. This is what I was saying. You can use with alchemy. You guys try with archery. Now you see these tips on here. I want y'all to see this. This right here. These are like very ancient, but they still work. See, Everything's great. I haven't oiled them or anything lately, but I need to. I haven't done anything since I moved here. And they work proficiently. You guys put, I'm not gonna say what, there's certain things that you can use and put right on the tip of here, certain chemicals. Soon as it penetrates the skin, it's a wrap for them. It's a wrap. And y'all know I deal with alchemy when it comes to all these herbs and stuff. So here's my sword. This is nice. This is a nice one. Yeah. Everything's proficient. This needs oil too, but it's still sharp as hell. You can see the edge. Y'all see it shining. The edge, I keep the edge shining, whether I clean it or not. But yeah, that part. So I just want you guys to see that. Peace, love, and blessings. Make sure you guys are keeping weapons. If you're in a state that you cannot have your gun, like we are here, we can have a gun here. I like to keep a couple, to be quite honest. I've had an incident with a gunshot, so I'm not actually scared of guns. I felt lead before, so I'm not scared of it. It didn't do anything to take my life, but not to say that it couldn't. So what I do is, I like to keep all kinds of things. I like guns. I have my guns. I have, like I said, my sword. I have my bow and arrows. Let me put this back up. I have to keep this stuff put up because if not, the grandbaby be trying to play with my stuff, and this stuff costs too much money. It's irreplaceable. I have Oriental swords. I might show y'all those one day. I have a whole collection of Oriental stuff. I love Oriental stuff too. I ain't gonna lie. Don't think that's why I'm such a fan of this Tatanka information, but it's in my spirit for some reason. That's where I have like a whole collection of Oriental, things. And, there are a lot of great weapons that they have too. Might even get into that one day. But yeah, either way, make sure you're keeping things around to protect yourself because you never know when you may need it. Things that you'll be able to use, I'm not going to get into some of the chemical stuff, but we just have to protect ourselves any way we can when we don't know what's going on right now. So, peace, blessings, love, and honor to all you guys. It's a nice, easy day. There's nothing going on today. Like I said, we do cooking and all that stuff all the time. So, we actually got like mad leftovers from yesterday, so nobody's gonna be cooking. But either way, make sure you guys are eating less, breathing more, taking in more air in your body, taking in more herbs and things. Ladies, if you need help with beads, I told y'all I do the beads. I should have showed y'all. Let me show y'all the beads. These are the beads. These are the beads. And they help. I done gained like 15 pounds over the wintertime, so y'all don't think just because I get into health, I'm always perfect. I got a little flab on my stomach, but I don't care if y'all see it. But see, these are the beads, guys. I do all kind of ways. Y'all see these crystals? All pure glass crystals. Yeah, I don't play. All of it. Look. Everything fits right. I don't want to try to act like I'm showing off something because I could show y'all something that look real right while y'all be talking about your girl, even though I got a little fat belly. But anyway, yeah, they fit perfectly. They come around, they fit they're form fitting, guys. You can get any color you want. I put them, I make them to your size. Ladies, it actually helps you with reminding you of not being able to eat so much. As soon as you start eating too much where it's moving your body, you're eating too much. You should not be eating to where your stomach is starting to poke out this and that. I'm talking about myself because I've been dogging some stuff. This when I was bored up in the house. I didn't know a lot of people here other than a few people I met. I'm feeling a little isolated. Other than my family, my grandbabies and stuff. But I'd be bored. I was doing my lives and stuff, but I'd be snacking and even when you're eating healthy stuff, believe it or not, too much of anything is not good. And I've been having stuff that oh, I got you, sis. Yeah, we'll definitely talk about that, girl. I got some pretty beads. I got like almost every color. I buy all kind of crystal beads, glass beads. Man, listen. So yeah, make sure you guys are getting at me later on. If I go live, I may jump on here for a minute. There are a few lives, as I said. I think there's like 4 or 5 that I have not even had a chance to tap into with you guys. There's one coming up on the 1st. If you guys can try and set your reminder, because I really want you guys to come and listen to that one. That one is going to be crazy. This one is on the religious aspect of the Slavs and them coming over. Man, this is going to be deep. Showing you, we've already broke down the Christ and the Jesus and this and that. The Christians coming over, chopping their head off, taking the land. We done read all of that. So that's old news. But we're going to really get into a little more of the depth of that. All right, guys. Peace, love, blessings, and until later, nothing but love.